Okay, students, let's start executing our first Java program. For execution of the Java programs, we'll use NetBeans, which is an integrated development environment or IDE for Java. You can use any other IDE also like Eclipse, but I'll basically use NetBeans. So for creating a new file in NetBeans, you just go here, then creation of new file. Then you'll have to create a new file under a project. So that project name is already specified. You can also change the name of that project, and then just click on next. Okay, so here you have to give a class name for the particular file name. So suppose I have used in this program, the name of the file is example. So the one thing that you need to remember is, in case of Java, the file name should be same as that of the class name. So whatever file name you want to keep, you have to give the same name to that particular class. So you just specify the class name, which will be the same as that of the file name, and you just click on finish. Okay, so let us now try to understand this is our first program, which is a very simple program as first Java program. So for most computer languages, the name of the file that holds the source code to a program is immaterial. So however, this is not the case with Java. The first thing that you must learn about Java is that the name you give to a source file is very important. For this example, the name of the source file should be example.java. Sorry. So let us see why. So in Java, a source file is officially called a compilation unit. It is a text file that contains one or more class definitions. The Java compiler requires that the source file use the .java file name extension. So as you can see by looking at the program, that the name of the class defined by the program is also example. So this is not a coincidence. In Java, all code must reside inside a class. So by convention, the name of the class should match the name of the file that holds the program. So you should also make sure that the capitalization of the file name matches the class name. The reason for this is that Java is basically case sensitive. So now how what happens while compiling the program? So the JavaC compiler, while compiling the program, it creates a file called example.class for this particular program that contains the bytecode version of the program. So as discussed earlier, the Java bytecode is the intermediate representation of your program that contains instructions the Java virtual machine will execute. Thus, the output of Java C is not code that can be directly executed. So when Java source code is compiled, each individual class is put into its own output file named after the class and using the .class extension. So this is why it is a good idea to give your Java source files the same name as the class they contain. The name of the source file must match the name of the .class file. So when you execute Java, you are actually specifying the name of the class that you want to execute. So it will automatically search for a file by that name that has the .class extension. So if it finds the file, it will execute the code contains in the specified class. Now let us execute the program. So for executing the program, just right click on that particular file that you want to execute, then run file. You can also use a shift F6 for executing or for to run the program. So let us see what is the output of the program. So you can see that we have in this program we have just displayed a sentence called this is a simple Java program, so which appears in the output. So now let us try to understand this particular program. So, okay, although example.java is this program is quite short, but it includes several key features that are common to all Java programs. So let's closely examine each part of the program. So this program begins with the following lines. This is a simple Java program. Call this file example.java. So this is a comment. Like most other programming languages, Java lets us enter a remark into a program's source file. The contents of a comment are ignored by the compiler. Instead, a comment describes or explains the operation of the program to anyone who is reading its source code. So in this case, the comment describes the program and reminds us that the source file should be called example.java. Okay, so Java basically supports three style of comments. The one that is we can see in this particular program, it is called a multi-line comment. So this type of comment must begins with and ends with the this type symbol. So you must have used this type of comments all in case of C and C++ also. So anything that between these two comments symbols is ignored by the compiler. So as the name suggests, a multi-line comment may be several lines long. Okay. So the next line of code is class example. So this line uses the keyword class to declare that a new class is being defined. Example is an identifier, that is the name of the class. The entire class definition, including all of its members, will be between the opening curly brace and the closing curly brace. So for the moment, don't worry too much about the details of a class, except to note that in Java, all program activity occurs within one. So this is one reason why all Java programs are object oriented. So let's now discuss about the next line. So then the next line in the program is single line comment. So we have used a single line comment here, which is your program begins with a call to main. So this is the second type of comment supported by Java. A single line comment begins with a double hash and ends at the end of the line. So as a general rule, programmers use multi-line comments for longer remarks and single-line comments for brief line-by-line descriptions. Okay. So the next line is this one, the public static void main string arguments. This line begins with the main method. So as the comment preceding it suggests, this is the line at which the program will begin executing. So all Java applications begin execution by calling main. The full meaning of each part of this line cannot be given now, since it involves a detailed understanding of Java's approach to encapsulation. Uh, okay, so the public keyword is basically here is an access specifier which allows the programmer to control the visibility of class members. When a class member is preceded by public, then that member may be accessed by code outside the class in which it is declared. Okay, in this case, main must be declared as public, since it must be called by code outside of its class when the program is started. The keyword static allows the main to be called without having to instantiate a particular instance of the class. This is necessary since main is called by the Java virtual machine before any objects are made. The keyword void simply tells the compiler that main does not return a value. As you will see, methods may also return values. So if all this seems a bit confusing, don't worry, all of these concepts will be discussed later on. So as stated, main is the method called when a Java application begins. So just keep in mind that Java is case sensitive. Thus main is different from like a capital main starting from with capital letter M is quite different from the word main starting from the small letter m. So it is important to understand that the Java compiler will compile classes that do not contain a main method. But Java has no way to run these classes. So if you had typed main like with a capital letter M instead of main with a capital small letter m, then the compiler would still compile your program. However, Java would report an error because it would be unable to find the main method. Okay, so any information that you need to pass to a method is received by variables specified within the set of parentheses that follow the name of the method. So these variables are called parameters. So if there are no parameters required for a given method, you'll still need to include the empty parentheses. So in main, there is only one parameter and a complicated one. So string arguments declares the parameter named arguments, which is an array of instances of the class string. Okay. So objects of type string store character strings. So in this case, this args or arguments receives any command line arguments present when the program is executed. Okay, the last character on the line is a opening brace. So this signals the start of main's body. So all of the code that comprises a method will occur between the method's opening curly brace and its closing curly brace. Okay, so one point main is simply a starting place for your program. So a complex program will have dozens of classes, only one of which will need to have a main method to get things started. So when you begin creating applets, Java programs that are embedded in web browsers, you won't use main at all, since the web browser uses a different means of starting the execution of applets. Okay, the next and the final line of this program is system.out.println. So this line outputs the string. This is a simple Java program followed by a new line on the screen. Okay. Output is actually accomplished by the built-in println method. So in this case, println displays the string which is passed to it. As you will see, println can be used to display other types of information too. The line begins with system.out. Okay, while too complicated to explain in detail at this point, briefly we can say that a system is a predefined class that provides access to the system, and out is the output stream that is connected to the console. So as you have probably guessed, console output or input is not used frequently in most real-world Java programs and applets. Since most modern computing environments are windowed and graphical in nature, console input output is used mostly for simple utility programs and for demonstration programs. Okay, so notice that the println statements, it ends with a semicolon here. So all statement means Java with will end with a semicolon. So the reason that the other lines in the program do not end in a semicolon is that they are not technically statements. The first uh, closing curly brace in the program ends main, the main function, and last ending curly brace ends the example class definition. So this was about the first Java program.